Welcome to Survivor Nsfw. Johnny Fairplay, you got some drippy ass looking weird ass. Do you have parachute pants on? Maybe. Oh my God, he does. The outside. So what is this get up? Well, first of all, before we get into your get up, it's the outsiders. We got Richie Harbaugh, Zach Hacker, Johnny Fairplay, Outsider Fairplay, and myself, Matt Bischoff. What is the deal, Johnny?
Well, we have two huge bits of news, and I think they're equally as important. One may be more important than the other.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with the more important of the two.
Yep.
I got the Outsider tracksuit. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that at?
Chalkline made an exclusive Outsider. This is a Scott Hall and Kevin Nash when they invaded WCW. The formation of the NWO, the New World Order, and I saw this and I was like, this will change my fucking life. And not only am I wearing it, just in all of its splendor, I'm also rocking the Too Sweet T-shirt.
Who's that? Is that another wrestler's shirt?
Actually, the Young Bucks made this, and then they were forced to put. They got a cease and desist order from WWE, much like I got one from CBS, so that makes it extra special. But actually, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks sent me this T-shirt in the mail.
I have no idea what anything you're talking about.
I know you don't, but
it looks cool though.
But I will tell you, I am so this Outsider drip makes me so happy. I feel like fucking Christmas right now.
That's awesome, man.
So
you're looking good, and you got your mullet.
Oh yeah. Well, this is Razor Ramon hair, right? Razor Ramon and Big Daddy Cool Diesel Kevin Nash. They both actually still have a mullet. I think. I think Kevin Nash actually finally cut his, but Scott Hall's still rocking the mullet. So, yeah.
Richie and Zach, have you guys ever had a mullet before?
I shaved someone's head into a mullet 3 weeks ago.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Was it requested?
Yeah. So he was pretty drunk, and he kept asking all night if we shaved it to shave his head into a mullet. And I said, say less. And I put a trash bag on the floor and shaved his head.
That's awesome.
I love it. No, I've never had a mullet. I've been a long hair guy my whole life until I was like 25, and then I got this deal going on. But
yeah.
So how long was your hair, Zach?
Not as long, but it was well past my shoulders for most of high school, college.
Like all one length, like putting in a man bun, ponytail, whatever.
Are you getting a mullet now?
Would I get a mullet now? I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Dude, when I had a mullet, the only reason that I ever had a mullet was I was going to cut my hair off. So I cut my hair into a mullet prior to just shaving my head. And I had like a stupid like mohawk on top and mullet in the back. And my wife and I'd walk around just flipping it all the time. And my wife she got so pissed. She's like, because she thought I was just going to cut it into a mullet and then shave my head. But no, I left it that way for like a month. Then I was like, this is fucking stupid. I shaved my head. But she's like, you are not fucking going in public unless you have a fucking hat on with me, period. Because you look like a fucking idiot. And it was a ridiculous. Johnny's is not bad. Like right now, Johnny just looks like he has kind of long curly hair.
It's a modern mullet.
It's a modern mullet.
Curly hair looks good. If it was straight, I don't know.
Yeah, I got.
It would be bad. Yeah.
I'm gonna find a picture. I'm gonna find a photo and I'll post it in the Patreon secret group because it was pretty bad.
Yeah, Richie, would you do a mullet now?
It depends on the situation. I'm trying to find a job right now after school, so no, not right now. But once I find that job,
you have a Daniel Bryan look about you. Have you? So a peek behind the curtain, Daniel Bryan, when he grew that big beard and no one, really understood, like they called him, goat face Daniel Bryan and stuff like that. And no one really understood the beard. Like he did an interview later and he was just like, secretly, he goes, I was just trying to grow up my hair. But, when your hair's in the in-between stage and it's just like, what are you doing? He's like, I grew the beard so no one would see that. And no one paid attention to the in-between stage of his hair. And then, he grew it out, and then he just like, well, now I just should keep both.
Dude, in between stage is the worst because I'm growing my hair out. Like I wasn't intentionally gonna grow my hair long again, but excuse me. Then when the quarantine happened, I haven't got a haircut.
It sounds like he has the corona right now, guys.
No, Ryan Geist went down the wrong pipe. But so I was like, fuck it. Like I'm not saying that I'm gonna grow my hair. I mean, dude, like when I got voted out of Survivor, my hair was probably down to here.
Tit length.
Beyond tit length. It was the longest my hair's ever been. And
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, well, I got some pretty fucking great picks from my pre-jury trip. But I wasn't, like I said, planning on growing long hair because like it's kind of nice having short hair. If you're having long hair for so long, like the shorter the better. But now I'm just kind of like, I haven't got a haircut. Why not? I'm just gonna. No one's telling me I can't. So I'm just gonna say fuck it and grow it. So
there you go. All right. So would you like the second part of the news?
Yeah, tell us the second part.
All right. So the Outsiders tracksuits right here.
Yes.
Right here. I mean, pretty close. I mean, because the tracksuit's big.
Yeah.
We have a third chair on Survivor Nsfw.
Aha. Yes, indeed.
Congratulations, Zach Hacker.
Oh, hey, thank you so much. It is an honor.
Well, no, I was welcoming you to welcome Richie Harbaugh to the third chair. I
wanted
to witness it.
Ouch! It's an Oscar scenario.
Yes. Do you feel like Kanye with Taylor Swift right now?
Oh, it's snatched from my hands. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, congrats. For those of you that have not been paying attention, Zach has been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. With Labor of Love and a lot of the other stuff. If you've noticed improved production in some stuff, that would be Zach Hacker secretly raising his hand, taking all of that credit because it is well deserved. And you never know, maybe Matt will finally take a vacation. Johnny Fairplay would love to take another vacation without, getting text messages of scandals and arrests. And so when those things happen, if there's two of the three of us there, it's not like, what is this? And so, if you have the three, it normally, if one's missing, it's no big deal. But in addition, I don't know if you guys are aware of this peek behind the curtain. Matt and I do zero prep for anything. And Zach coincidentally does. And so
he does.
Hey, homework's my strong suit. So that's good.
So
I never like this. Yeah. Homework is not mine. So yeah, it's cool. And it's been really fun, man, having you involved. Like the Labor of Love stuff has been super fun. Like I look forward to it. I mean, I hated doing Bachelorette shit with Jonny. Yeah. Not because it was with Jonny, but because it was fucking Bachelorette. So we'll see.
Well,
I mean,
there's a huge difference, Matt, between 1 hour. Like Labor of Love is one of those shows where it's 1 hour, it's one day a week, it's cut and dry.
Yep.
Whereas the Bachelorette was 2 hours, sometimes 2 nights a week, and it was as if that wasn't painful enough. It's one of those reality shows that goes into a commercial showing a scene, and then you come back from a commercial and they re-show you that fucking scene. It's like, motherfucker. I already hate every second of this, and you're making me watch multiple seconds twice.
Right. And the thing is, man, is like patrons, like this podcast is time consuming. We love doing it, but when you start adding like all these shows, when we got kids and other shit going on, it becomes like I don't want to do anything when it becomes a hassle. If I'm in a band and all of a sudden driving 45 minutes to band practice becomes like an interference to my happiness, I don't want to do it. Like I got to be stoked on it. And I'm stoked on everything we do on Survivor and SFW. And we, how long has it been, Johnny? Like over 2 years, probably with me in the mix. So
no one said there'd be math, Matt.
We've done a lot of stuff, and I'm stoked on it. So
real quick, the Bachelorette was 8 hours a week of our lives of something that we hated. So it was 2 hours for the show, 2 hours to watch the show.
Yep.
An hour to do the podcast, and an hour post-production and social media. So, and then when it was on twice a week, that's double. So it was 8 fucking hours of something that we didn't enjoy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like the labor of love, A, it's an easy show to watch. B, my friend Matt Stryker, Pepsi Can Matt, for those of you paying attention, and our good friend Marcus Lehman from Survivor Gabon. So there's a reason. And then and coming up, it looks like it's happening, and we will be talking about a couple of these people. I think is one of these questions. I think it was I think it's a last minute question added further up in here in the forum. It looks like me and Zach will be covering Big Brother.
That'll be a blast.
Yeah.
When's Big Brother coming on?
Sooner than later, and it appears to be an all-star edition.
That's the rumor.
Yeah, and so I know some of the earlier people there. They're actually friends of mine, but then there was a big scandal that broke 2 days ago, and we will Zach and I will be interviewing, if not both, at least one of them. And
oh man, that's gonna be wild.
So how's this gonna work? How's the Big Brother pod gonna work?
I can skip ahead to this question in a minute.
Go ahead. Let's get right on.
Well, Big Brother it's on 3 days. So we're just gonna do a podcast after. If we don't do it the night of the show, we'll do it the next day.
So 3 nights a week you're gonna do podcasts.
There will be complete coverage. We will not be covering the live feeds. It will only be based on what CBS is showing us. And so a lot of people they're like, you missed half the stuff. It's like, motherfucker, great.
I hate that shit. No.
Yeah, I can live with that. We're basing it on what is presented, just like on Survivor. Like, there's plenty of shit you didn't see on Survivor, motherfucker. And so we're talking about what is presented in the CBS format. Cool. So so there's a potential all-star cast leaked, and that it seems to be pretty legit. And there's a couple names that were missing that I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen come back. And that's my brothers in Chilltown. I am the first official third member of Chilltown. There was later a fourth member added, and that was Sid Vicious's son, Frank Udy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So
don't forget Chicken George and All Stars.
What's that?
Chicken George was an honorary member in All Stars too.
Nope. Chicken George does not count.
You're in a club with Chicken George. Congrats, Johnny.
So Richie, are you a fan of Big Brother? Since we're talking about it, do you like Big Brother?
So pretty much what happened was I started watching Big Brother before I started watching Survivor, and used the CBS reality shows to really get me into the other one.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that's what happens a lot of times. We all know that Survivor cast members are Big Brother and Amazing Race contestants are people that try to get on Survivor and they're rejects, so they get on the B and C level shows. But that's another podcast in itself.
Yeah. So 2 big names that are missing from the potential spoiler list of the All Stars that we'll be seeing this summer are Chilltown's Mike Boogie and Dr. Will Kirby. And holy fucking moly. I guess I think Chris Crawford asked this, and I saw it earlier, so I don't want to lose my place here on our Q&A thread. But,
he asked basically, what are your thoughts as someone who knows both of them?
Yeah.
What do you make of this mess that we're in?
Holy moly. All right. So Matt, peek behind the curtain. Well, this isn't a peek behind. This is fucking out there. So, Mike Boogie was arrested 2 days ago for death threats to Dr. Will Kirby and his family. I guess I'm guessing what happened was they wanted both members of Chilltown to come back for All Stars, and Dr. Will Kirby's past it. He's just he's a big time doctor in Beverly Hills. He does stuff with People Magazine, and I think he's on that doctor show. Does stuff with Dr. Phil and Oprah and all. Like the guy is beyond Big Brother at this point.
Mhm.
Okay. And I don't think they wanted Mike Boogie without Dr. Will.
Mhm.
And Mike Boogie wasn't having, he's just like, come on, motherfucker, we're Chilltown. And, and Dr. Will's like, no. And I guess Mike Boogie pressed the issue and he said no. And then I guess he blocked, Dr. Will blocked him on his phone and blocked him on social media. And so then Dr. Will gets an email of an image of a gun pointing at Dr. Will's family.
So wait a second. So they were. So let me get this straight. So let's say they did a Survivor a Survivor season podcast edition.
Yeah.
And like they asked Phil and Alexa, and they said yes. They asked Stephen Fishback and Rob C. They said yes. And Russell and Brandon, and then they asked Johnny and Matt, and Matt's like, dude, I can't do it. And you're like, motherfucker, if you're not doing it, I ain't doing it, and I want to be on this fucking show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking come over there and murder all you motherfuckers. That's the scenario.
That's pretty much.
Fuck, man. That guy must be desperate as fuck to get on the show again.
And if you want to check this out further, allegedly the messages are all on Reddit. You can go through and see what was allegedly sent to Dr. Will by Mike Boogie.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but
that's heavy.
I'm friends with both of them. I mean, I don't want to give too much more now because I don't know if I'm going to reach out to Dr. Will first. I think that's the way to play it. Reach out to Dr. Will first and then follow with the Mike Boogie.
Yeah. You stay on this side of the law and then you cross it.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we can get Mike Boogie, but with Mike Boogie, we got all kinds of fun. Like me and Mike Boogie may have been with a couple girls.
May have.
There was money exchanged. Not from my wallet, I assure you.
Mike Boogie's a generous guy. There you go.
I mean, that's Dr. Will should be compliant to his wishes.
Dude.
So how insane is this?
That's insane.
It's no surprise that Dr. Will didn't want to play again because he's been on record saying he only wants to play in like a celebrity format that's like less than a month long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with him.
Yeah, because I mean, you said that before. You said that before, Johnny. The only way you would play Big Brother is if it was a celebrity type edition.
Yeah. So I mean, and Mike Boogie. I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't cast Mike Boogie without Dr. Will. I mean, they're not casting now.
Well, Johnny, what I heard is that this stemmed from some Amazing Race drama.
Oh yeah,
they wanted when they did like battle of all the CBS shows that they had offered Mike Boogie and Dr. Will a spot on one of the Big Brother teams, and that Dr. Will was the reason they didn't do it. And now this is like fallout from that later as they're starting to cast this All-Star season.
Yeah, but once Dr. Will had said no to Amazing Race, like, I understand that the initial phone call of, hey, we'd love to have Chilltown back together for an All-Star edition, but, we understand, what you said for Amazing Race. So, you're potentially going to say no here. The offer is still there to Mike Boogie. I think that's bullshit on CBS's part for not extending that. I mean, it's just like Mike Boogie's great on his own.
Oh, yeah.
You could even have Mike Boogie and Ian Terry because they were a duo in season 14.
Right. Or Frank Udy.
Yeah. I don't think they want to get Frank back anytime soon, though.
You think I
don't think they want Frank back after Big Brother 18.
Oh, did he come back?
Yeah, he didn't do so well, and he was an asshole.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Well, his dad's an asshole too, but sweet permed mullet, much like Johnny Fairplay's. So.
That's what matters. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, important things in life, guys. Come on.
So, did you answer the Big Brother question then?
I feel like I did. Like, what are my thoughts? My thoughts are, I love both guys, and for the record, I mean, I'm good friends with Dr. Will. I always got along with Mike. Like, they're both scumbags. I mean, they're both big time scumbags. I always felt as though Mike Boogie was a little more of a scumbag, so I could relate a little more. Like me and Mike Boogie hung out more. Like, I hung out with both of them a lot. I hung out a little bit more with just Mike Boogie. And so I feel like I'm a little closer to him. And which caught, like, Dr. Will, he founded Dr. Tadoff. They did like a tattoo removal place. That's how he built his fortune in Beverly Hills, doing tattoo removal.
Right.
And it's no longer Dr. Tadoff. That's tacky. So, and they didn't start in Beverly Hills, I assure you. So, but like, whenever you hung out with Dr. Will, like, he was just like, hey guys, you need some sunscreen, and he would have like 150 SPF.
Which isn't that BS anyways? Doesn't it only go to a certain SPF? Like,
well, I'm probably making up that number, man.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, I think literally with sunscreen, I don't know if it says factor 50, it's like it only goes to like factor 15, and then any number after that is just marketing.
Well, anyway, I'm putting on 4, and Dr. Will is like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I'm gonna tan, motherfucker. I'm trying to fuck some bitches.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I don't want to talk about Big Brother. Let's answer some fucking Survivor questions. Richie Harbaugh, do you have or who's going to ask the questions tonight?
Richie's got it.
All right.
I think we're on Josh Green.
Okay. I don't have this open right now.
Perfect.
You're just as prepared as myself, Rich. I like your style, my brother. The only thing I'm prepared with is every day I get to look at Johnny Fairplay's fucking beard.
Have you gotten
No, motherfucker, but I finally got the Mark Lanigan book and vinyl record that I pre-ordered in April that shipped May 1st. I thought it got lost. I was like, motherfucker. And I finally got the book on Saturday, which I've already listened to the audiobook weeks ago. I think you might have told me that, Johnny. You're like, dude, get Audible. And it's Mark Lanigan narrating his shit.
Right.
And then I got the record today. So it was, it's on clear vinyl. It's fucking dope. I've listened to the album 25, 30 times
I pre-ordered Post Malone's album today.
Did you? All right. Next question, please. No, the only good, I don't listen to Post Malone's, like, I don't own any of his records, but I did watch the Nirvana thing that he did, which was actually really cool.
It was really good.
My whole family watched it. We fucking watched. It was like a Sunday morning. I don't know. We were just fucking Tessa's like, oh, dude, this fucking shit happened, and it was actually really good. I hope those guys make a fucking rock and roll band.
Yeah. I hope that's
okay.
Actually,
I have it up.
You got it up.
Dave Chappelle's YouTube thing yet?
Huh?
Does anyone watch Dave Chappelle's YouTube thing?
No.
Dave Chappelle lives like an hour from me, though.
Out of nowhere, like 3 days ago, he just released a new comedy special on YouTube talking about everything that's going on right now.
Cool. Oh, I got to check that out.
And it's supposedly just game changer shit. So
yeah.
So that's what I will be doing when we're done with this.
Zach, when are you coming back to Ohio?
Yeah, so I'm in Michigan right now, out on Lake Michigan, and I get back next Saturday. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
Hit me up when you get back. You come over and we'll watch a Labor of Love on the patio and do some content and shit.
That'll be a blast.
Fuck yeah. All right, Richie Harbaugh.
Perfect. Do you know how happy Mark Perriott is every week?
Oh, you motherfuckers. I love it.
All right, so the first question's from Matt. If there was another sequester mini, would you play?
Man, I when I was watching Jonny play his, I thought about that. Like, man, if I would probably have to play. I'm not necessarily like all about that kind of shit. You know, it's like, no, not super my thing. However, if I was to get asked and the cast was fucking, I would probably play no matter what the cast was. It could be fucking Cole Metters and Billy Garcia and fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would probably do it.
Whoa! Did someone say Billy Garcia?
Oh, I love it. But yeah, I think that it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, 5-hour commitment or whatever. But I think for the experience as a Survivor player, anytime you get a chance to do something involved with the Survivor community, whether it's via a charity event or something like a Sequester Mini, I would have to do it. So.
I have a question for you guys. What is a greater possession in my life? The Outsider track jacket or the Billy Garcia coin?
The Billy Garcia coin.
Yeah, dude, I've seen the Billy Garcia coin a dozen times. I've seen this tracksuit once. So.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah. The Billy Garcia coin for sure. But yeah, I would play a Sequester Mini.
Some things are priceless. Actually, I think this is $40.
Right on.
All right, so this question is still from Josh Green, and it's for Jonny. If the cast didn't get released for the Sequester Mini, how do you think it would have affected your game?
Immensely. Like I think it's dog shit. To be brutally honest, I think it's dog shit that they had 5 people from one fucking season that were all friends.
That's ridiculous.
Like I think that was garbage. I feel the same. Because I don't feel like, potentially me, Wentworth, and Abby Maria drew extra eyes to it happening. However, I think if they had just said that there's a Survivor Sequester and not announced the cast, I think they would have been pretty fucking close with the amount of fucking viewers that they had. So,
dude, I tell you what, man, I think if I was to play it, I would be more excited to play it in a scenario where they're like, Matt, like you are one of 20 Survivor castaways playing the game, and all of a sudden you're going to be in a fucking thing on Zoom, and you're going to be with 3 people. Maybe I've never met any of them.
Yeah,
I think it would be fucking awesome and exciting and shit versus the stress of pregame alliances. And I'm not going to be fucking doing phone calls. I got shit to do, man.
But I don't understand knowing how survivors are, why they wouldn't have subtracted that from the equation anyways.
Well, they would get more viewers.
They just wanted to advertise it. And as I said, I don't think that viewership number changes immensely.
No, I don't either. They make a fucking, like a dramatic commercial with dramatic music, like theatrical trailer, 20 of your favorite survivors, Sequester, one night only, Friday night. It's like, if you're a fan of Survivor, you're going to for me, if I saw the 5 people from the dog shit season of Survivor, I'm going to be like, I
know.
Maybe I don't watch it. But if I'm like, who the fuck is going to be on this thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking tune in to fucking see, right?
Right, but I will say this, like the trailer that they're using for the second Survivor Sequester is, it shows highlights from the first one, and boom. What's the best highlight in the entire thing is fucking
Well, I have to ask you, Jonny. So for anyone who's listening, the second Sequester will happen on Saturday, June 26th. Once they do announce the cast, I will be breaking it down at some point with anyone who wants to come on and talk about it. But Jonny, have you been contacted about being on the second one?
No, they know not to contact me. Yeah. No,
okay.
I let it be known. Actually, me and Audrey are gonna hang out next week.
Sweet.
Yeah. So maybe we'll talk a little Big Brother. Maybe I'll have her. Maybe I'll have her over for the premiere.
So when's the second Sequester happening?
Saturday the 26th.
Yeah.
Of June. Okay.
Yeah.
That's coming up. And
I hope I got that date right.
When are they announcing the cast for it?
They're holding time. They said 1 day or 2 days ahead of time is when they're going to officially drop the cast so that it limits pre-gaming. As we've heard, if you'd like to hear how pre-gaming went, check out our sequester breakdown as Johnny and Mama C and Eric, the anarchist ice cream scooper, talked about how things went down there.
Yeah. Oh,
Eric the anarchist is quite so Audrey hit me. So peek behind the curtain. Audrey hit me up because I couldn't say this thing.
Yeah.
Audrey hit me up after the next day after sequester, and she was just like, "Can we talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Fuck Eric the ice cream scooper." And she was like, "I was so excited when he agreed to do it," and she was like, "What a fucking asshole, piece of fucking shit." Fuck. I mean, she fucking lit into him for about 4 minutes straight. And I'm just like, yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting that.
Well, I mean, and the funny thing is we interviewed Sunday on our podcast last week. And I mentioned something about, you were saying Johnny's evil. She was denying. But I remember her saying, Johnny's mean, let's get him out.
Yeah.
She was
Johnny's a bully. Johnny's a bully.
She was totally, and I'm down with Sunday, but she was backtracking. Like, I never say anything bad about Johnny necessarily. I wouldn't use the word evil. She was throwing you under the bus so fucking hard, dude.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, big time. So,
I mean, as I said, it's not fair. Like, I hurt her feelings saying that, I'm a, maybe they would like to see someone like me play a little bit longer. And so then she, because we had a conversation the next day and then, she of course made me feel bad and, saying, well, why don't they want to see me? I'm just like, well, I'm just saying they want to see me. I'm not saying they don't want to see you.
Right.
Know that there's, hey, if every motherfucker's the same, then it doesn't fucking matter who's on the show. So everyone's not the fucking same, okay?
Right.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Some of us are a little louder.
Yeah.
So was there a question? Oh yeah, I answered it. Yeah, the cast. Yeah, no, do not announce that. I feel you have enough footage from the first one that I would not announce one motherfucker from the cast and before the show. Just say, hey, this is what happened last time. You'll never guess who's on this one.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So.
And it's not me. They haven't called me, so fucking. I'm not on it.
Not saying that though.
Yeah, well, no, I'm holding my cards like I'm making the same mistake I did on Caramel and by saying I don't have a fucking idol, you guys. I don't have one. So, if you guys are worried about it, fucking don't worry because I don't fucking have an idol.
Well, they
were. I am not on sequester. Now they could be fucking still making calls. Doubt it, but. Fucking. I got
waiting for that season 40 call right now.
I got Q&As to do anyways. All right, what's the next question, Richie?
That's from Michael Payon. I butchered that name. Johnny, on the Labor of Love podcast, you implied that Jericho has heat with you. Why is that?
Ooh, there's lots of reasons. So, I was at a bar one night after a WCW event, and Jericho was there. He was wearing jean shorts and a fanny pack and a t-shirt, and which pretty much describes my outfit on 4 days of the week in 2020. So, and a mullet. We have mullets. And so after the event, me and my buddies were hanging out at the Marriott bar. And it was a pay-per-view in Baltimore. We were at the BWI Marriott, and Mikey Whipwreck, who had just been hired from ECW to WCW, he comes up. He's just like, we're like, hey, Mikey Whipwreck. He's like, hey guys, what'd you think of the show tonight? It's just like, well, I mean, considering you were working with the least talented worker in the locker room in Van Hammer, I think you did good. And if there was never a more factual statement ever in the history of wrestling of me saying that Van Hammer is the worst fucking worker ever, that's fact. like Van Hammer was fucking dog shit, the worst ever. And so Mikey Whipwreck had just gotten to WCW, was kind of looking for approval from the other guys. So he immediately ran to Jericho and he goes, "Hey, these fans over here are talking shit. They're saying that, that Van Hammer is a shitty worker and I had a good match in spite of that, blah blah blah," and basically trying to throw some fans under the bus. So Jericho be like, "Hey, it's us against them. They're not entitled to their opinion. We're the boys. You're fucking marks. You don't get to say." So anyway, so Jericho came over. He's just like, who the fuck? He goes, "You don't have the right to call someone the word. I've been in this business for whatever, 8 years or whatever. You don't have the right to have an opinion." So I look around and I look at him, and Jericho's not that much bigger than me. I mean, he would have whooped my ass, but it wasn't like I was looking at fucking Hulk Hogan or fucking Goldberg or something. And so I was just like, I don't have an opinion. And he said, "No, not." And I was just like, "Look at you, dude." I was like, "You're wearing jean shorts and a fanny pack." I was like, "What is Stone Cold Steve Austin your fashion role model?" I'm just, I'm like, my fucking outfit costs more than you'll make this month. Go fuck yourself. And he rears back and he's ready to fucking clock me. And fucking Disco Inferno and Booker T fucking grab me and fucking carry me over their heads out of the fucking bar to save my life. Because he is literally about to fucking kill me. And so I thanked them. And they thought, they're like, "Yeah, Van Hammer's the shits, brother. You're good." And so I did run into Jericho. He had gone to WWF after that, and I saw him at a bar, and I went and apologized, and he apologized back and actually bought me a beer that night. And so I thought we were cool, but then years later, I go to tweet him, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure his Twitter handle is I am Jericho, but it's not. And he had blocked me on Twitter. So apparently we still have heat for some reason. But the crazy thing is, he also runs the Twitter for his band Fozzy, and he follows me on Fozzy's Twitter. And so because I went to go see Fozzy in concert, and it was the last night of the tour, so they were in the back, in the green room, so that they never came. But one of the band members was out. I was just like, "Hey, quick question." I was just like, "Do you guys share the Fozzy Twitter account, or is that?" And they're like, "No, that's just Chris." And I was like, "Motherfucker, really?" So I don't know. I think we have heat, but I'm not sure.
The only wrestler that blocks me on Twitter is CM Punk.
Oh, CM Punk does not. Me and Punk are. I don't think he doesn't follow me. I'm shocked at the ones that do. I mean, Finn Balor follows me. Jim Cornette blocked me on Twitter, and I'm sure I asked for that. But no, Chris Jericho has me blocked on Twitter, and it's fine. I mean, I just go to the Survivor NSFW if I really need to see what he has to say.
Not only did CM Punk block me, though, he took a screenshot of my Twitter profile and put it out as a tweet, and then he blocked me.
Well, there you go. That's good. That's strong.
I'll put that in the comments of the podcast then, if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, what'd you do?
So the Flyers played the Blackhawks, and I was talking trash on the Chicago Blackhawks.
Sure.
Good call.
And you look like Daniel Bryan. So
probably triggered him.
Yeah, triggered. All right.
Next question is from Keegan Lance, and it says, "Any shows that any of you been watching lately? Also, what are your thoughts on the age limit being dropped for Survivor?"
Shows like TV shows watching lately.
Watch TV.
No, I'll take that back. No, Pete, this is fucking breaking news. Well, obviously, Labor of Love. Zach and I have been watching it. Johnny Fairplay's finally catching up and joining us.
I missed one episode and watched before.
You did, but I've been fucking watching Hoarders on my patio, and just on I think we're watching on Netflix.
Sure.
Dude, fucking Hoarders. They're like an hour and a half long, but my kids, I'm just like, I'm fucking all in on that shit.
I like
I'm
Hoarders.
like,
I haven't watched them forever, but
it's just like I've never really watched it. I knew about it, and like we'll be out there like chilling on the patio and hanging out, and it's like it's just something easy to watch. Like you can be fucking around on your phone, and Johnny can be texting me like pictures of Pepsi can Matt's dick from Labor of Love, and then I fucking say, why do I fucking want to see this shit? But Hoarders is fucking
and they
crazy.
reply, do you have any more?
but
Yes, there's 4 of them.
But so Hoarders I've watched, and then I haven't watched any. I haven't watched any. Labor of Love and Hoarders. Now, you guys just need to kick me off the podcast and bring my wife on because she's watched like every fucking series on the planet on Netflix.
Well, no, go back to what your previous statement.
Dude, but yeah, so Johnny, you've watched a bunch of shows.
Yeah, Zach's gonna be the one that takes Tessa from us. Don't worry.
I am gonna have Tessa come on at some time on a Labor of Love show.
That'd be great.
And give a female perspective because she always fucking when we're watching the show, she'll fucking chime in. I'm like, you need to fucking do the podcast with us. So I think she will. She actually, like I said, dude, she never up until about a month ago, she had never ever listened to Survivor Nsfw. Not once. Because she hears me fucking run my mouth all the time. I always tell her about Johnny and I's fucking conversations and shit. Yeah. She doesn't need to fucking hear anymore. Yeah. But she's like, Matt, I really fucking I take walks in the neighborhood and I've been listening and catching up on all your fucking podcasts and I like it. She's like,
notice that you say that's hilarious.
No, she knows that she does say, Matt, you say certain phrases all the fucking time. You need to stop saying that. And then she's like, your fucking Manscaped and some of that shit is so fucking annoying and long. No one could possibly like those commercials. She's like, you've got to fucking get a hold of Manscaped and say, shorten your fucking ad copy and get it to the point.
Okay.
Because she's like, I would fucking turn your podcast off if I didn't know you in 1 second flat. I would not fucking listen to it.
Rewind to the premiere for season 40. Mm-hmm. We had chants of both Manscaped and Blue Chew from the crowd.
Who? Are we in the crowd?
That is accurate. Yeah.
Yes. They chanted for both Manscaped and Blue
Chew. It's to each his own. Yeah. Like, honestly, speaking, patrons, because this is the real shit. If I could do a podcast without any fucking plugs, not plugging t-shirts, not plugging Patreon, not plugging shit. but I would not fucking it's kind of like I would just love to get right into the podcast and talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil. Any podcast on the planet, you have to have advertisements, which we make a little money to make it worth our fucking time. I mean, it's a passion of mine. Like I sing in fucking bands and don't really expect to make a goddamn dime on playing live shows. Like, it's just kind of like bonus money. Like if Moonbow's playing a show and we get $200 fucking dollars, cool. But I'm not doing it for the cash. I'm doing it because I fucking love it. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't want to do it. If I wanted to make money in music, I would be in a fucking 80s tribute band playing Talking Heads and Dire Straits and shit and fucking Poison and shit. This podcast, we do it, but it's like,
I want to jump in that Poison cover band.
I know you do. But I
had CeCe DeVille grab my dick one night.
Oh my God. Someone right now, patrons, make a little note in your iPhone, say, ask Johnny Fairplay about the CeCe DeVille thing. But anyways, I don't even know how I'm going on this tangent, but my wife listens now and I like, she likes it. She thinks it's cool.
Why does she think that I'm her favorite part?
I'm
just curious what's gonna against you.
No.
No, but you guys talked about people loving the ads though. So I'm on and my mom and her boyfriend are here. My mom's boyfriend listens, and he said, Zach, when you're recording, I'm gonna walk across in the background in my tidy whities and be like, hey, what's that promo code for Manscaped? I need some help in here. And you're like, oh, dude, do not do that.
See, it's a thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, it must be a thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it ain't my. I mean, I'm down with it, but I'm also like, if I'm listening, I'm gonna fast forward the fucking ads.
All right. As far as what I'm watching lately, Richie joined me earlier for trivia because Zach Hacker sucks, and you know, once he gets the third chair, he's like, oh, I'm too busy for other stuff now. I'm like Matt Bischoff. I can't do other things. And so we discussed. I just caught up today on the Undertaker's The Last Ride on WWE Network. The first episode pissed me off to no end because it's right before his match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, where he showed up. He was fat. He was not in shape, and his hip was gone. He could barely walk. And
so Johnny Fairplay on Micronesia is what you're explaining.
Pretty much same thing. And maybe worse. I don't know. Close. I might have been worse. I don't know. Either way. But they film in real time, like him going into the match. Who's like, yeah, it's gonna be good, brother. And I'm just watching. I'm just like, no, it ain't. And then it's horrible. I mean, it's the worst match, probably the worst match Undertaker's ever had. And so I'm watching it, and I'm just like, I don't like this. And then episode 2, once again, is in real time, and starts 3 months later, and he goes back and watches the match. And I mean, he's angry, he's sad, he's pissed off, and he was just like, I owe that man an apology. And he goes, and I owe the fans an apology for because he's just like, it's like riding a bike, but you can't ride a bike with a bad hip and everything else. So he has hip surgery, and then he decides, he's just like, that can't be the last time they see me. And he comes back and he has a really great match. And then, he does a few more matches, and him and his wife are fighting about stuff. And, so like he's got a lot of excuses, and none of the excuses are, they keep paying me $1 million plus for one fucking match. Those are never in the excuse column, but it's really good. And next week is the final episode. It's a 5-part deal. And so I watched, I finally caught up on that today, but I also finished last night, or the night before last, I finished the Jeffrey Epstein series on Netflix. And I had only listened to so the whole time the Jeffrey Epstein thing is happening in real life, in real time, I don't watch the news. I'm not following. So I'm not aware of any of this stuff. And so after the fact, I listened to a couple podcasts, and the podcast I really focused on Jeffrey Epstein's acquiring of power. He's a high school graduate, and lies about being a college graduate, and works his way into working with these billionaires and Ponzi schemes and all this stuff, and you just learn how smart and manipulative and persuasive and charming and all, and it is fascinating, and it's really. And so when they do get to the later stuff, once again, I never saw any of the news coverage, so I never saw what this guy looked like. So I have no face associated with this. I've never seen the girls. I have said prior to watching the Netflix documentary that it was just like, this is a pretty amazing person, for what he did prior to. There is a cutoff to where his amazingness stops. And watching the Netflix special, they really, they briefly talk about how he conned his way into where he was, but the person that he conned was just like, if I had one regret, it's ever hiring him, and that's pretty much it. And then it's fast forward to, hey, this guy's fucking 12 to 16-year-old girls, and it's like, okay, well, that guy sucks. So I I appreciated watching it because I'm just like, well, here's a totally different side of this guy that I, I wouldn't use the word appreciated on the on the podcast version, but at the same time, there's a reason this guy became a fucking billionaire with his own island and his own castle and his own all these things because he, there's something to that person. So, but as I said, like there's not faces with that. And then the Netflix thing is just the faces. It's just like, well, this guy is a piece of shit and I fucking hate him.
Yeah, I'll say that the Netflix series, it's good as an introduction if you didn't know anything about it. Because I was talking to one of my friends about it, and he said that he had known a lot of the information from the just research that he did on his own, and just because he had his family watch the Netflix series to really get acquainted with what was really going on.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just finished that. I didn't like it. I mean, like as I said, it was nice to put a face with it. I was just like, oh, okay. So, I'm finally finishing, hopefully this week, Money Heist season 4. I've dug it up until now. This last season has been the slowest, but I'm still digging it, and I will probably watch. Probably watch Outer Banks next if I had to guess.
I think Tessa's watching that, dude.
Yeah.
the list of shows that you fucking Ozark and fucking Money High. I know she's watched all that shit.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm fucking listening to records or doing this podcast or hanging out with my kids in the basement playing arcade machines and fucking billiards, she's watching fucking Netflix shows, and she's watched tons of them. She should just fucking do a podcast in her fucking bra and panties and fucking and call it a day.
That's the whole reason I called you 3 years ago, man. All you had to do was pass the fucking.
Well, the thing, I it's funny that I said bra and panties because she doesn't wear underwear. So
I mean, she can put them on for the podcast.
She could.
And then for the Patreon, hey guys.
I think that's OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
I think I am confusing my website.
Oh shit.
Cam Soda, Nsfw. Get ready.
What we got next, Richie?
So there was a second part to that last question. What were your thoughts about the age limit being dropped on Survivor?
I'm cool with it if it's an all young, like if they do a season of 16 to 18-year-olds, I'm cool with that. I have no desire to see 16-year-olds versus 40-year-olds.
Nope, me neither.
I think that's too much reliability, especially after.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I have no desire to see it either. If there was a special like web edition, just something to promote a marketing tactic for Survivor.
You think they're bringing back Dan Spilo for these?
I don't know, but I'm not as much as like I have kids and I'm like, my kids are close to 16. It'd be dope to see them play. But yeah, it's not what Survivor is. A fucking gnarly game, and there's no place for fucking even 18-year-olds for this fucking game.
Well, I'm down for a 16 to 18-year-old seat personally. Like because I loved Kid Nation. I thought it was so good. So, but
not on primetime Wednesday nights.
I'm cool on primetime. Man, that's the only time I got to watch TV is primetime. Like the motherfucker come on at 4:00 in the afternoon. I'm still watching 8:00 at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, all
right. So in Survivor China during the loved one's visit, Todd Herzog heard that his sister had a miscarriage. Was that true, or was he just trying to mimic Johnny Fairplay?
Ooh, I meant to message Todd. All right, let's go to the next question. I'm gonna message.
Okay.
You know what? No, hold on. Let's just get him on the phone right here.
Wow.
Right? He should pick up. I got a couple different numbers. We'll see.
This is why people need to be patrons.
And that's why that mic is so good.
Only if he picks up.
Oh, it's been forwarded to his
Oh, you son of a... Hold on. I think I have two numbers, though.
Richie, who asked this question?
No?
This was Tim Caudle.
Is that the only number you have, Johnny, or you have another one?
No, the other is his email.
Hmm.
I'll call back. I don't give a fuck.
Does he have you plugged in his phone?
Yeah.
And he's doing what I do when Johnny
Wait.
Fairplay calls,
Yeah.
ignore.
Call has been forwarded
All right.
to
I'm gonna text and tell him to call right back. Okay.
Okay,
We can go to the next question.
Next question is from Louis Rajanal. I probably butchered that too. I'd like to know who from your last seasons you think, if they came back, would have the best chance of winning.
If someone read the question again.
So, who for you, Matt, from Karamoan, if they came back, would have the best chance of winning, and for Johnny, who from Micronesia would have the best chance of winning if they came back?
Anyone on Caramoan, so it could be a favorite or a fan.
Doesn't specify.
Okay.
Dog Bar Eddie.
Shit. Man, that's a good question. Because obviously I would want to say myself, because I feel like I have a great social game. I feel like I'm good at physical challenges, but not in an example to where I would be noticed as this huge like Aussie like threat or something like that. I think Malcolm could have a good chance of winning. And honestly, as far as the fans go, I think I have just as good a fucking shot as anybody, because I know the fucking game and I was there to play the game, and the cards were not in my favor due to the stupid fucking swap. So I would say me or Malcolm.
I think Brenda
has a good
Lowe is
shot.
up there. I think Brenda Lowe is up there too.
Yeah, but she wasn't. Brenda was too depressed about her head wasn't in the game. I like Brenda, but she was more worried about what was going on back at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Philip Shepard's a kook. Corinne, I don't think. I mean, as much as I love Corinne, I think she's too bitchy to get the final jury votes. Brandon's a psychopath at the time. He was like mentally unstable. Eric the ice cream scooper, I don't think would have been smart enough to pull it off. Half the guys on and girls on the fans tribe really didn't know the game, weren't really fans, as we've talked about. So is he calling back?
Hey, sexy.
What's up?
So you're on my patron Q&A right now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know. There's no survivors that are patrons. You guys, well, no, you won Survivor. You could be a patron. You're one of the few, Todd.
What does that mean?
It's okay. So Matt Bischoff is here.
Hey, man.
Okay, and we have our new third chair on the Survivor Nsfw podcast. We have Zach Hacker, who you'll meet in the near future.
Hey,
All
Todd.
right. Hello, Zach.
Okay, and then we have Richie Harbaugh. He's a patron that's asking that he's reading the questions this week.
Hey, Todd.
Okay, so the question was from Tim Caudell. He said, Todd Herzog, did his sister really have a miscarriage, or was he trying to pull a fair play?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she had a miscarriage.
Okay, well, I mean, I didn't want to, do funny.
Answer for me. Yeah.
Well, answer for you or do funny. I mean, that's not, so that's
No, I mean, obviously it was such a long time ago, and now she's actually married with children and happy. So life is good.
Yeah. Did you know that Rupert asked his wife to lie and say she had a miscarriage on All Stars?
I did not know that.
He did. So, and she chickened out.
That's gross.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of there. That to me,
Yeah.
that's like something that you don't joke about.
Lying about your grandma was funny.
Yeah, no one was
There's some
hurt.
Things that just
Yeah.
aren't funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, I don't think he was
Yeah.
trying to be funny. Like he saw or he hadn't even seen it before he left, but he had heard, how it had gained me sympathy, and he was like, "Oh, well, I can." And it's just like, read the room, you dumb motherfucker.
yeah,
Yeah. So
for real.
that's Rupert for you.
Oh, by the way, Todd, I want to get on the list, Todd, for a little action figure guy.
Oh, Matt Bischoff wants to get on the list for the action figures. They're
Well,
called
tell him to the Funkos.
Yeah,
tell
they're
him to
called
message me, man.
they call Pop Funkos, Matt. They're not.
Yes,
They're not
I know. The Pop Funko. I have some in my
Tell
basement.
him to message me. I'm booked for like 7 months now.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
you should
fine.
have got it. I'm holding up mine right now because I'm smart and proactive and awesome, and so are you. So thank you, Todd. So
Did you know that a fan actually ordered one of you that I'm going to be making soon?
Oh, really?
Yeah, a different version.
A different version. What version are they getting?
You'll
The one
see.
with the micro penis.
Son of a bitch. All right.
So-
Is this the quitter version? Is the other one better?
Hey, I made the one that you sent me pictures of.
Yeah.
Now, this person sent me pictures of you in a different outfit, and I was like, okay, I can do that.
Okay. Which one do you like better?
Well, I haven't made the other one yet, so I don't know.
Which one do you think you're gonna like better?
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
All right. What do you got
I
going?
don't know. Yours was really fun because it was like one of the first orders for an actual Survivor that I had done.
Yeah.
So like after you had yours, the Survivor community blew up, and now everybody wants one of themselves.
Oh,
And I'm like,
trendsetter
Okay.
Johnny Fairplay. Very good.
so there you go.
So real quick, Todd, we'll let you get back to what you're doing. What are you doing?
I am hanging out with my friends right now.
Okay.
currently.
All right, okay. Well, get back to hanging out with your friends. So as I said, I just want to go like the cool thing with me, I think, is like, I feel like I can reach out to to the ultra elite survivors and ask them questions like this.
You can, and I'm glad that you would call me ultra elite. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you consider me an ultra elite asker of questions.
You are ultra elite. You're Jonny Fairplay.
Oh wow, there you have it. All right, Todd.
There you
Todd,
go.
I love you. You're sexy, and give your man a kiss for me. He'll know what it
Will
means.
do.
All right.
Will do. Love you much.
All right. Bye, Todd. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
That was awesome.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
So cool.
How cool
So,
is
dude,
that?
how? I mean, you literally got in on the game of those Funkos early.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm just like, I want one.
Damn. Did
Yep.
he charge a lot for him?
I'm not allowed to say.
Okay. Cool. I'm just curious. I want to get
mean,
one made. I don't know
I-
I don't know how much he's going to charge me for one.
Yeah, I know the price he's charging, but
Yeah. Two other survivors, you mean?
yeah.
Okay.
But-
Yeah. Right.
It pays to get in early, Matt.
I know.
You should have. I told you when I did mine, and you should have. I don't know what you were thinking.
I don't even remember when you told me that.
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, like once again, like I only have great ideas unless it comes to stuff that we use on the Patreon.
That's pretty cool that someone is ordering a Jonny Fairplay Funko.
Yeah. Well, it's not cool if theirs is better than mine, but I mean, as I said, that the picture from fans versus fans.
Is it pretty cool? Let's see it.
Here, hold on. See a little bit.
This comes in like a little. Is that like just like a little plastic case?
That's crazy. He's booked for 7 months, though. That's a lot of Funko Pops. That's
Oh,
great.
How does he make them?
Well, he's friends with people at Pop Funko, so they send in the parts.
They do. Okay,
Wow.
so he's got a deal going on then.
And so I'm wearing from the fans versus fans, I'm wearing the blue button-up shirt, and I'm doing the Fair Play fingers. But he also, and I'm wearing the camouflage shorts. I was actually wearing pants, but I told him to put me in shorts. And he's got my latest green Air Jordan 1s.
So he is friends with the people at the company that give him
the parts.
And he paints them.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, how's he gonna make a fucking gigantic beard?
He can do that.
Well, my beard actually wasn't gigantic on Survivor, so
Yeah.
well, that's cool. Well, awesome. Well, what's the next question, Richie?
It's from Carter Malice, and it says, "Will you be podcasting about the Survivor ORG?"
Or I have a question. Is it Survivor ORG or is it Survivor org?
I say ORG.
Online reality game. What is the Survivor? Oh, the Wrestle Hands thing. When is that happening?
It's been happening. We've lost every fucking challenge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're down 5 people. So, all right. So Russell asked me to do this. He was just like, "Hey, put together a cast," and so I put it out here for you guys, and that was it. And so I did what I was asked to do, and then I find out, I don't know, like a couple days ago, I was just like, "Well, God damn it, please stop messaging me." I found out a couple days ago that Russell's been in every one of these, and I haven't.
And all the challenges.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, no one told me to.
Hold on.
So and they're having challenges Thursday nights at 10 o'clock or not 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock when I'm watching
Covering Labor of Love.
Yeah, and so anyway, so I finally showed up 2 nights ago for the first time, and they were like, "Holy shit, Fair Play's here," and I was like, I just want to say a couple things. I'm like, I'm here to support my people, and I was not made aware that Russell would be at these, has been at these, so I'd like to apologize for a lack of communication coming to me. I was like, and secondly, the timing of some of these challenges is when I'm doing other podcasts, and I understand that that's no excuse, because Russell does a podcast and he's here. I was like, however, the podcast that we do at Survivor Nsfw, we watch shows and we do prep and stuff like that. I was like, it doesn't require the amount of time. Our shows require immensely more time than it does to make a show purely based on clickbait. So maybe you guys on Russell's podcast don't understand why I couldn't be here, but I'm just explaining to you that that's how that works. And I was like, and lastly, and kind of most importantly, the first challenge was a puzzle challenge. Now I was just like, call me silly because I don't understand how these things work. I was on Survivor twice, and I've watched pretty much every season, mostly. And whenever I've seen a puzzle challenge, I've always found, when it's 2 tribes against one another, that the 2 tribes do the same puzzle. But I understand that on the first challenge, you guys didn't have the 2 tribes doing the same puzzle, and maybe there was a disparity on the difficulty of the puzzles. And shockingly, rumor and innuendo has it that Russell's tribe had the easier puzzle.
Were they perplexers puzzles?
They were not. And I was like, coming from a guy who has a puzzle fucking guy, if this was an issue, you could have reached out to me. I was like, but I'm not accusing anyone, but I am. And I hear you guys bragging that you've won like fucking 4 fucking challenges in a row. Momentum's the fucking thing. Watch Survivor, and maybe winning that first challenge that was skewed towards one tribe versus the other. Not accusing, but I am. Maybe that's why you won the next 3. So yeah, they were none too happy for me to join. So the patrons here at Survivor Nsfw, you were happy to see me, and I was happy to be there, and thank you. But Russell, they were fucking furious. And the cool thing is, a couple of Russell's patrons are now patrons here. They're patrons of both, and they're watching this and enjoying this. And they, one of them secretly reached out and said, it was appreciated, and the trolling continued after the fact. So So yeah, it's a thing. So no, as far as podcasting about the ORG, I guess not. So, but maybe I didn't know how intensive this was. I didn't know like we don't want to reveal stuff. You know, the fact that there are patrons of Russell's podcast that are members here. If we're covering it and talking about showing the discussions, it kind of doesn't work because we're kind of giving away shit. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe after the fact we can do a Zoom, reunion special. But as far as covering it during, I don't think that works. So.
All right. So final question is:
Jesus Christ! Thank God.
Do either of you like or watch boxing? And if you do, who's your favorite fighter?
Rocky Balboa.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Mr. T. I do not watch boxing. Do you, Johnny?
Yeah, I won money from FanDuel betting on who's that racist Tyson Fury. I like how you can narrow it down by that. You guys could have jumped in with that pretty quickly. Tyson Fury, I bet a pretty good little chunk on Tyson Fury and a KO, and I won. So it took me a little while to get the money. So no, you know what? I think I went to mybookie.ag. I don't think I went to FanDuel. I think this is before the FanDuel people. So, but yeah, because they were like, "Do you want us to pay you in Bitcoin?" And I'm like, "I do not need your Monopoly money, sir. I would like your money."
Well, right on.
Record, I would love Bitcoin money, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah. I am a fool because I could have gotten some
Bitcoin. Fuck yeah. Well, Richie, dude, thank you for joining us. Zach Hacker, thank you as well.
Oh, and I also have a Sugar Ray Leonard autograph from when I was a kid, and he wrote, "To my 7-Up pal, Johnny. To my 7-Up pal, John. Love Sugar Ray Leonard."
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that's dope. Well, thank you. So we got a lot of exciting things coming up. Continuation of our coverage of Labor of Love and Big Brother and all the other stuff that we have going on. Hopefully season 41 of Survivor is going to be airing this fall. I'm hoping. I don't know. Have you heard anything new, Johnny?
I'm still not worried. As I said, I think it's still doable.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're having outdoor concerts starting in July here,
which is insane because I had a buddy of mine just went to Virginia, the same place that you came and picked me up from when I was working there one time, and he said, "Dude, Virginia has way tighter fucking rules than Ohio right now."
Yeah,
he's like, "We went to restaurants. You had to wear a mask, and when you got up to go to the bathroom, you had to wear a mask, and they don't have that shit in Ohio."
Yeah, so no, we I know July 23rd, Atlanta Rhythm Section is playing at the Harvester, which is about 40 minutes from me, and I think I'm actually gonna go to that.
Oh yeah, right on.
July 25th. So, and then September, the Beach Boys are coming.
I will not be at that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the Q&A. Was this a 3-part or was this a third session of Q&A?
Three-parter.
This is what happens when we get a lot of patrons involved. Thank you very much, patrons. I love really awesome. All of you guys. As long as you're not getting arrested for some sort of fucked up crime, you are good in my book. So we'll see you next time on another Survivor NSFW Q&A podcast. Cheers and good night, you guys.
Woohoo.